Are you the kind of person who puts effort into responding to a long text message? Well, if you are, then you're in good company. Today we'll be sharing stories from our past, playing some games, and maybe even performing a live sketch or two. Let's open the door literally for 5 seconds and let multiple flies in. Grab your knitting needles and a blanket because it's time for three old friends to sit around and sew a new patch into their quilt of friendship. So join me, Dion, under the covers with Christian.
Welcome to Patchwork.
And Josh.
Welcome to Patchwork.
Right, so before we get started, now, Josh, a friend of ours, a mutual friend, Daniel, was in your area around your house, and he was with his partner, and he recounts to me that he and her bumped into you,
Yes.
And you were in a rush somewhere. Now, do you remember that interaction, Josh, and how that went?
I remember being on the street, and I'm pretty sure...
Wow, do you really remember the details of it?
I think it was about 23, 24 degrees.
Yeah.
Sure.
Northeasterly wind. No, I think I was in a rush because I think I was coming to record and I was running a bit late.
Yeah.
And so it was just a quick pop in. Oh, hey guys, how you going? And then sort of was off.
And did you notice anything sort of unique or interesting about that interaction that you had?
No.
No, you didn't. Right. So this friend of ours, Daniel, reported to me the next day, quite flustered, that you hardly stopped at all to say hello. And if I remember correctly, I don't think you said hello to his partner at all. Potentially didn't make any eye contact with her. Is it possible?
No. Well, it would have been, I think my talking would have been directed at him, but I would have said, oh, hey guys, as in, hey, here's both of you. What are you guys doing here?
I reckon when you're flustered, Josh, you aren't the most polite person because...
Sure.
What about when he's not
you are,
flustered?
because you're single-minded.
Yeah.
I think you've got one thing in your mind, which was, I need to get to recording.
Yeah.
Everything else by the wayside.
I don't think I was rude. Certainly I didn't stop and have a chat though. So my memory of it, I was coming back from getting a coffee from the coffee shop across the street.
Hang on. In a rush, were you?
Really
Plenty
good.
of time for a coffee stop.
Really good.
So-
Not for a chat, not for a hello.
The only time
not for eye no time for eye contact.
Have you...
It's amazing. I love when you said, I didn't even blink when I had an interaction with them. I couldn't waste the time.
Let me fill in the story from the perspective of Joshua.
Okay.
So the only time I go and get the coffee is when I'm a bit hungover, right? So I
Right.
must have been hungover, was going to record. I'm like, got to get this, got to get in the zone. Let's go, right? And I was already running late. I'd messaged you guys. And the key defining factor of the reason of the quick turnaround and the, hey, how you going, guys? Sorry, I'm in a rush, got to go. What valuable conversation are we going to have in the space of 5 minutes?
And so Pandora's box is slowly opened.
No.
Christian, would you like to begin?
You have to dismiss the burden of the pleasantries. There is...
In life?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are parameters for the minimum viable conversation.
That's what I hit.
For a brief moment.
MVC.
And I don't think you achieved that, Josh. I think you missed the mark.
Okay, well, tell me what they are and I'll tell you what I hit, baby.
Okay. Josh just started touching my leg.
Well, we can do it. Christian, you bump into Josh. Josh is in a hurry somewhere. What happens?
No, wait.
I'm Daniel. I'm Daniel.
Okay, I'll bump into you.
Okay.
Wait, was it a physical bump?
Dion, you can be the partner. No, not interested at all.
I won't do anything. Yeah.
I looked through. Okay, ready? Hey, Daniel.
Oh, hey, Josh. How you going?
Yeah, really good. Actually, I'm in a bit of a rush.
Okay.
We've got recording really soon.
Yeah,
What are you
yeah.
guys up to?
We just went around. We visited a grandparent mother.
Yeah.
In the area. Yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Yeah, so recording after this, and I think I'm going out tonight.
Okay.
I might have to rush off though. Sorry, guys.
Oh, okay. All right.
And it's good to see you too, partner. What do you reckon, Dion?
Well, I mean, ultimately, that took on my stopwatch 25 seconds. And, that's nothing compared to how late you were that day.
Well, that's the problem. I was already late. So, anyway.
You don't seem to care that much about lateness, though.
No, I do. Anyway,
Oh, yes.
my point is, right?
he cares about being consistently late.
But my point is, right, what you said then, Christian, about what are you guys doing here? What is that changing in the scheme of anything?
No, but you're missing the point. It's not. But it's
Just
not about,
cut that out.
But it's not. It would, in an ideal world, I would cut that out. You can't.
Yeah, great. I live in an ideal world.
No, but no one else lives in your world. You got to play the game.
You guys absolutely lambasted me when I said that I wanted to dismiss pleasantries. No more hellos, no more goodbyes. And now all of a sudden, Dion, you don't want to talk to anyone on the street.
Hang on. So the difference between you two, Christian, you value the pleasantries. You know it's got a place. Josh, you just don't want to do them.
Again, you missed your MVC points.
What did I miss? Dion?
Well, it's a chance encounter, and one has to celebrate an encounter like that because in life, there's not much to celebrate. So you bump into someone, you're like, oh, great coincidence. Let's have a chat about it.
Yeah, it is a coincidence. Don't you want to know why they're there?
I'm sure I asked that. What are you guys doing here? And I'm pretty sure they said we're having breakfast somewhere.
Oh, well, okay. Let's flip that back on them.
Yeah, interesting.
Why are they being so fussy about how much time Josh spent? Josh is a perfectly good friend to them every other day of the year.
No, he doesn't see them. He doesn't see Daniel that often.
I'd like to see both of them a lot more than I do.
Well, you won't now because...
Well, presumably he's never seen one of them. I think we need to put this down to Josh being frazzled and hungover.
Yes.
He'd just got his coffee. He wanted to make it to Patchwork.
Yeah.
It was a momentary lapse of reason.
And if Daniel had read what was on my mug, it said, "Don't talk to me until I've had my coffee."
So we love when you hit us up on social media. Some of you write really long messages, short messages, funny messages. But Christian, one thing I've noticed is that when people write to us, some people will paragraph it out, write really long messages, pour their heart out.
Yeah.
I've noticed that I think, is this right or wrong, that you feel the need to have a proportionate response in terms of the length and effort that you put in. Is there any truth to that, Christian? I was wondering, can we extrapolate that to all of your other communications as well?
I would say that it's a perfect summation of the way that I interact with everyone through any written means.
So what is it about? Why do you do that?
Oh, it comes down to the same reason for everything, isn't it? Yeah, it's just I've appreciated the effort that they've put in, and I want to give them that back because I feel as though to contact like a podcast and to give thanks or whatever, the least we can do is give the exact amount of thanks back.
Yeah, but then you lose half your day.
You do, yeah. I've put a lot of effort in.
You put effort, you put thought. It's lovely.
Yeah, and what ends up happening is that I delay sending the message because the length is so long that I'll go, I really need to put some effort into this one.
It's intimidating.
And then days go by and I go, get back to that. So that's why I've really enjoyed the fact that a lot of messaging platforms now you can get on your computer because typing out a long message is so much easier.
Yes.
I just wish that people would receive messages for when you thought about messaging them. That's what I need.
So when you're doing your long messages, Christian, do you compose and draft within the chat window or do you do it in a separate document?
Really,
because that
good
could be
question,
very
Josh.
dangerous.
I think if the subject matter is a little sensitive, and I don't want to make a mistake and accidentally send it, it's always happening in a separate notes app. But if I'm just shooting at the hip and sending an errant text off, I'm happy to compose in-app.
Yeah.
An old phone of mine had the best feature, which I want to recover. On the keyboard, when you press send, there was a delay you could set on it.
Oh,
That's great.
A 3-second delay.
Not enough.
How has it not been
Not long enough.
Yeah, but no,
10
3 seconds
seconds.
enough because that's the time where you send it, you have a quick read and you go, oh no, I want to cancel
No,
that.
but I don't think that's not the issue. It's not the send by mistake. It's the
Yeah.
send by error where you're halfway through it
Yes.
and your thumb
Oh,
slips.
how
And then you're
embarrassing.
like, and then you know what's worse then? Then you've got to speed through the back half because you want to
Yep.
get it out there as quick as possible. So then
Yeah,
read the
yeah.
first half and then
Exactly.
leave the second half till ages later.
You don't want them responding before you've got the full
No.
thing out.
No.
You know what? I just don't. I'm done with messaging people, emailing people. Just even no
Well, you're not
phone
messaging,
calls.
you're writing novels, aren't you? Let's be honest.
You sign all the copies yourself. Chris will be the bookstore later, signing his text messages. The other thing I want to know, Christian, is how many levels to the text message length are there? Is there just
Ooh,
big
yeah.
and small?
Yeah.
Or
great.
is it pretty much you go one-to-one?
It's big. I'll answer that. It's big and small.
Yep.
You nailed it.
Yeah, there's no medium message. Nah.
Not at all.
I reckon if there's a small message, I'm supplementing it with a GIF.
Yeah, that helps.
So that pads it out. If I can't get to the full degree of message, if I'm like, I'm struggling here and I just need to shoot this off, you'll get a GIF.
Well, a GIF says 1,000 words.
But Christian, you have excellent tone in your written communication.
Sure.
I'm surprised you use GIFs and emojis. Your tone is excellent. I keep it brief. I don't put that much thought into how is this going to come across. I just get the message across.
So
Josh on another level.
Yeah, I know, but that's I guess
my tone gets missed all the time. It's hell.
Yeah, but what is it about the way that you write? It's just blunt, right?
Yes, I just say the thing that I want to say.
See, Dion got upset at me for putting full stops at the end of my text messages.
It's come up. No, the problem is you're not consistent. So you sometimes will end sentences with full stops and other times not. It's been shown that text messages with full stops are passive aggressive.
Shown to
It's
whom?
been shown.
Yeah, it's been shown.
Yeah, was there a capital on that S? You piece of shit, you never capitalize anything. Talk about inconsistency.
I know.
Sometimes capital, sometimes small,
Yeah,
in the
all over the
same message.
But I'm not a wordsmith. You're the wordsmith.
Can I ask, though, is there much of a difference? I'll ask you both, but mainly directed towards Christian. If it's a domestic message or it's an international message.
yeah.
Is it email? Is it text?
Oh.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of effort put into international correspondence, of course.
I think it has to, right? Really?
Yeah, the implication that this is being sent, even if it's instant, across borders.
Well, I have a very good friend in Germany who I correspond with, and one thing that I love to do with him is I like to correct his English.
Ah.
And he bloody loves it. He loves having his English corrected.
Really?
Yeah, he loves it. But then I'm on trial because I have to make sure that everything I say is worded perfectly.
But do you know that you're making the right corrections? Because I find with English, sometimes I'll be like, yeah, I can't tell you why, but it sounds wrong.
I'm exactly the same. I have no theoretical understanding of the English language at all. Do you?
I have some, but not a lot.
Oh, I've just got a feel for it. And what a feel.
I always get in and for and to wrong.
Really?
Yeah, they're such simple, like I don't know when to use them.
Yeah, I don't know my theirs.
Oh, that's
Oh,
the
no
easiest.
I know. No, I've learnt it recently. I've
well
learnt it
done.
recently. Have you got anything?
Spell a few words that I'm rubbish at spelling. Definitely and defiantly.
Oh.
Hell.
You ready? I can solve the way that I came up with definitely, right? Is I always imagine when I'm spelling it that a Kiwi is saying it, someone from New Zealand. So they say definitely. There's an I in there after the F. That's how I remember.
Maybe that's the key. Any words you have trouble spelling, just go through a
on a
few
New
different
Zealand
languages. Oh, this is a bit Russian, this one. This will be good.
But in terms of communication, I do have a bone to pick with you, Josh.
I got a bone to pick.
Josh, we have a very fun house party coming up, and it is a Britney Spears themed house party.
Yes.
And the other day, you were at Kmart and you were buying some stuff and you were checking in with us. Really lovely of you, Josh. You organise these costumes; it's the best. And you were sort of organising them for the guys. And I said to you, I wonder if my girlfriend can go in with your sort of girlfriends. And your reply was,
I don't know what the girls are doing.
no, that's not what your reply was. Your reply was, I'm just worried about myself right now.
Yeah, okay.
That is extraordinary.
Do you want me to paint the picture of what was happening?
No, I didn't have that picture though.
That was my picture, mate, and that's
No.
very important.
No, I didn't have that picture though.
Send a GIF.
So I'm.
Geez, you're just like a cat hanging onto a shelf.
Jeez, you must be stressed.
So
Just hang in there, Josh.
So I'm assuming, Josh, you made a call to go to Kmart. I'm here. I need to make a decision, right?
So me and my girlfriend were both there, and
Yep.
she was picking up some stuff, and I was
Yep.
dashing off to check this stuff out quickly.
Yes.
We had a lot of stuff to do that day, so I was like, I'm going to spend 5 minutes on this, try and work this out.
Yes.
Messaging with you guys. Oh, don't know this. Can't think about that right now. Need to know if I got to buy the shorts. Got to buy this thing. Got to get out of here.
Christian, does this sound like a similar scenario? Was someone flustered on that particular day? I don't think you operate well when you're flustered.
Maybe. Great. I've got an excuse.
Keep putting him under the pump. Come on.
I know.
What's your favorite colour?
No, but in that situation, you could have said, hey, don't have time now. But you just went straight for the jugular. It's like, I'm just worried about myself now.
That's just me saying like it is. It's like, I can't think about anything else right now. I'm just trying to sort
But
this out.
Christian, what would you have thought if you were inquiring about someone else and
Come
Josh
on,
replied
man.
by that?
Don't ask me for my opinion. You know, it'll be exactly the opposite.
As me?
As
Oh,
Josh.
it's Josh. Yeah,
Of
okay, that makes sense.
course. I would have bought everyone the costumes.
Now, some of you may know that I recently got back from a trip to Egypt and Jordan. So, guys, if you'll come into my Bedouin tent, have some tea, jump into the bazaar, it's time for some more Middle Eastern music. So one of the places we stayed at in the Western Desert of Egypt was this hotel called Solymar Pioneers. And I took a lot of joy out of staying at Solymar Pioneers. It was a very run-down... it was this weird time warp. It feels like it was built in the 60s, had its heyday, and then has just been left to rot ever since, right? And I actually did a bit of research online about them afterwards and actually found they had an ad online.
Great.
And it's strikingly similar to our experience that we had staying there. So, Christian, if you want to fire up that ad.
I'm just stunned it's in English.
Solymar Pioneers is situated in Al Khaga Oasis, just 10 minutes away from Al Khaga Airport. It offers free private parking and a lovely outdoor pool. Rather than being cut off from the world, those who visit the 4-star Solymar Pioneers in the Oasis can step away from the hurry of modern life and embrace the slower, more deliberate rhythms of the desert. Welcome to Solymar Pioneers. Our owner will personally meet you at the door and will sweat and smile way too much in a way that seems very suspicious. But don't worry, he's just a friendly guy. And when he turns over the photocopy of your passport and asks you to write down and then sign your name to the following, I, Joshua Porter, do not require any escorts from the tourism police on my journey. Just dictate what he says and sign it. No questions asked. Welcome to Solymar Pioneers. Sit back and relax in your room and watch one of the 467 Arabic satellite TV channels. Don't be distracted by the 3 remotes for only 1 set-top box and 1 TV, though. That's just another one that controls something else. Enjoy the crystal clear images on your state-of-the-art 12-inch CRT Thompson TV. If it's not a Thompson, it's not a telly. Solymar Pioneers. Wander through the 3 levels of pastel pink hallways and be amazed at the fact that you'll see no other guests or hear any noises coming from any of the other 102 rooms. Welcome to Solymar Pioneers. Take a swim in our luxurious pool with absolutely no fencing around it so your kids can cool off at a moment's notice as soon as your back is turned. Solymar Pioneers. Enjoy the hospitality of our completely empty 4-star restaurant. When you arrive at 9 p.m, our entire kitchen staff will be waiting there for you and will watch you eat in the cavernous dining room. They'll continue to serve you dish after dish after dish, including flatbread tahini, seemingly fresh fattoush salad, chicken soup, a mountain of penne pasta with Napoli sauce, grilled chicken cooked to the absolute shitter with a side of chips, and some sort of rice pudding thing. And after all this, they'll inquire as to why you've hardly eaten anything. This whole scenario will be very similar to the film The Shining. Welcome to Solymar Pioneers. Why not take a bath in our extra spacious combined shower and bath, which even comes with a dedicated lighting, easily activated from the light switch next to the taps. Solymar Pioneers.
My favourite!
If you enjoy sleeping on rocks, then you'll love our twin single beds. Don't be confused by what feels like a sack filled with flour. That's just the pillow. Welcome to Solymar Pioneers. A stay at Solymar Pioneers is one you'll never forget, offering the comfort of an oasis and the unforgettable Sahara experience. Welcome to Solymar Pioneers.
And now it's time for Oh Wow of the Week.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow. The annual number of worldwide shark bites. This is so funny. Okay. The annual number of worldwide shark bites is 10 times less than the number of people bitten by other people in New York.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
The other day I was on a tram and I got a seat, a hallowed seat in my perfect position. And the
Which way were you facing?
I was facing forward. It was one of 2 seats. It was behind a glass screen.
Great.
Anyway, so people came on board and I noticed a few people that were just on the cusp of having to give up my seat. I would have estimated there was a guy. He was 65, looked a little bit out of breath,
Great.
but his walk looked fine. And so I was tossing it up, and I thought, my back's sore. I really want this seat. Do I have to give up this seat?
Yeah.
We're all in that situation. We want to be good Samaritans. We
Yeah.
want to do the right thing by people. Josh, do you have a metric that you go by?
It's a case by case.
Yeah.
But for instance, that older
Ad
gentleman.
hoc metric.
But that gentleman, for instance, if there's any kind of struggle getting onto the tram,
Yeah.
you're getting up.
Oh, that's
You're
I
getting
think
up.
that is where we can easily draw the line
no,
here.
it's fine. We'll build it up. We'll
Let's
layer
build
it. We'll
up.
layer
But can
it.
we start with that, Josh? This
Okay.
is mutual agreement.
Wait,
that
what
if-
sort of tram is it? E-class? Or it's like, is it a...
No, if the tram or bus needs to lower itself to help that
Of
person on board,
course.
that is
By the way, buses that lower themselves, how on earth does that happen?
suspension.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's them letting a big breath out.
So I think the key with a person getting onto the tram who's struggling, if there's that moment where they get to the door and then both hands go out and start grabbing things to help
Oh,
them
no,
on.
that's a
No,
no-brainer.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay, we're establishing the baseline.
Okay.
But if an older person, if they get straight on, I think generally, if they're next to me,
Yep.
I'll just always offer it, and I'm not too concerned with them being offended by like, I'm not old, I can take care of
Yeah,
myself.
That's the next thing.
I'm okay with that because more often than not, they'll be like, oh no, I'm fine.
Yes.
Or they go, oh, thank you very much.
I just, do you know what goes through my head? I don't want to be the first person who has offered their seat up for this person and then they reflect, geez, I'm old.
You want to be the second... You'd prefer to be the second person?
I'd rather
Then they're
that-
really old.
No,
Just two
Chri-
people
Chris-
independently.
Christian means in their lifetime.
In their lifetime. I don't want to be
Right.
the first person who's gone, hey, can I get up for you? And they go,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'm not old.
Josh, what's the question that you ask?
I think it's normally, do you want to sit down? I think that's it. Do you want to sit down? Sometimes though, when it's kind of
Ooh,
crowded,
that's very formal.
or do you want to sit? Do you want to,
Yeah,
do you want
do
to
you wanna
sit here?
sit?
Do you want to sit here?
No,
that's weird.
Not, do you want to sit here?
Do you want to sit? I think I go with, do you want to sit down? That's what I normally
Would
go
you
to.
like to sit down?
No, but also, you know what sometimes
It's,
happens?
do you want a seat? Surely that's the only thing.
Of course they want a seat, though. I want the seat.
But no, because someone else might be like, I'm getting off at the next stop. And then you can both have a seat. And the other person who's getting off at the next stop gets up.
You know what's great? When you're getting off at the next stop, but still claim it.
Oh,
and still go,
absolutely.
would you like this seat? You
Yeah.
don't say, I'm getting off at the next stop, and then
Yeah.
you get up. But that's illegitimate, right? Everyone knows it on the tram. Everyone knows what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. They watch you get off.
Yeah. But then you've gotten off and you never see him again, and you've left a good impression on the person sitting down.
Do you know what the other thing I
don't
do?
know, I think the person sitting down thinks you're a piece of shit.
Or they think, oh yeah, get off the tram. Get up out of your seat and get off this tram. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's what they ask. Do you want to get off this tram?
But the thing, sometimes my question won't even be a question. Like, Christian's lost it.
You know why I think he thinks it's funny? I think I delivered it like you would.
No, it was the finger.
Yeah. Do you want to get
Oh,
off
I wish
this
people
tram?
could watch that. There was such a forceful finger off.
So sometimes though, if I've got my headphones in, I won't even really bother asking though.
Yes.
It'll be a visual thing. I'm
Yeah.
like you point and
Oh,
you do the
yeah.
finger point to you, point to me,
Yeah.
and then you kind of half get up. You half get up a bit.
Has anyone ever got offended for you asking?
Nah, no way.
I reckon it's happened to me. Surely it's happened with someone's... What would someone say? It'd be such a weird thing to get offended by, though. Like, it's a nice gesture, but it's someone being confronted with their own mortality.
I think you're right about the gesture, though, Dion. If you are the person who kind of comes from, let's say, 3 rows back
Yep.
and offer up your seat to the person who obviously should have a seat, you're the hero.
Yeah, that's true.
But
What a moment to feel great about yourself.
But that definitely plays into my decision making. If I'm not right there and I feel that there's someone else that should be offering it, I'm presuming that there's no issue here and there's no problem.
That person needs to be younger, right? Isn't it incumbent that the youngest person offers the seat? The little shit that's playing on his Switch. Little shit that's playing on his Switch. You gotta. Can you say to that little kid, "Hey, give up your seat"? I reckon you can.
So I think I'm going to make another call here. People sitting window side against the windows,
Yep.
not in the aisles.
Yep.
They have less of an onus to give up their seat than the person on the
it's
aisle.
like Survivor. They've got immunity.
Yeah. Hey, actually, quick question on that, Christian. Someone who's sitting on the aisle seat of 2,
Yes.
the window seat becomes vacant. Does the aisle seat need to scooch across?
gotta shuffle in.
Absolutely.
I don't know if they do.
Why not?
What about if you have a preference for the aisle seat?
That makes no sense though. How could you have such a preference?
Long legs? Sorry, Josh.
No, if it's going to be a packed tram, you just everyone move in as much as you can to every crevice, fill all the spaces every time. It's going to get full.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have to move over. You're right.
That's just a general rule, right?
Yeah.
Just move in.
But what we're saying with the people who were meant to give the seat up, I think any sort of school kid, anyone in a uniform,
yeah.
they are the first. They have to be the first.
they have
right?
to be, yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
they should know that. They should understand that they're the first.
But aren't they often the last?
Yeah.
They are
How
kids,
sad.
kids these days.
So we've kind of covered older people. What other things are we looking at? I feel if there's any kind of crutches or moon boots, absolutely.
straight away.
Yeah, astronauts definitely give them a seat.
Yeah.
Service to the country.
They deserve our respect.
Neil, Mr. Armstrong.
No. Kneel down, I'm saying. Pregnant women.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I feel like the people in those situations, they're normally coming up to you pretty obviously.
What about pregnant astronauts?
But sometimes it's not really up to you. The person comes over and you're like, yeah, of course. And I'm happy for them to ask me.
Do they come over though?
Often, or they'll at least come to those spots for the special seats and they'll
Yeah.
be in the vicinity.
Crutches, right? Crutches,
Yeah.
that's fine, yeah?
I'm just not sure we need a priority seat. So in Australia, on our public transport, there are regular seats and then there's always one or two that are demarcated as priority seats.
Yep.
I feel as though the general populace should feel as though
They're all
all of these are priority seats
Right.
for the people that deserve them.
Yeah. But because society is a piece of shit,
yeah.
you need to go, hey, there are some people that are going to need this seat more than you.
But why is it that the person who sits there goes, yep, I am in the priority seat?
Yeah, how do you feel about sitting in a priority seat?
I do it, but I'm always
Hyper aware.
I'm looking
Headphones
around.
off.
Yeah.
Offering school children seats.
Well, actually,
Do you want to play that Switch here?
go on, take a seat. Fire up, Mario. But one I had not too long ago, last week, was the mother and child, right? The small child. And so, generally, what happened was I was standing at this point, but one person gave up the seat for the child.
Yep. You got to give one for the mother too.
With the other person giving up the mother or not? Do they have to?
But the child can sit on the mother's lap, right?
Yeah.
Why does the child need to sit? How old's the child?
Like small child running around.
So squirmy.
No idea.
So squirmy. Children on public transport are like squirms.
Well, yeah. I actually wouldn't mind if someone came up to me and said, hey, my leg's not great, or
Yeah.
I'm very old. Can I take that seat?
And then they just turned to dust.
but they're wearing a school uniform. But they turn to dust. Guess I don't need a seat anymore. The door's open. Someone mind just blowing me out the door?
Really, really good. You know what's really, really good? Really, really good. You know what's really, really good?
Do you know what's really good? Knowing parents well enough that it's not impolite to sniff their newborn.
Really good.
Really good.
Really good. You know what's really good? Receiving the "we've got a table upstairs" message from a friend when you're still on the way there. Really good.
Do you know what's really good? When you clean a mirror and you leave no streaks.
Really good.
And we love hearing your really good, so make sure you're jumping on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for our Really Good Fridays. It's every fortnight, and all we ask is that you comment your best really good beneath the picture.
And in return, you'll get some Hey Tiger chocolate, ethically sourced, delicious chocolate.
Oh, yum! I'm full. And from a recent winner, do you know what Helen Walker thinks is really good? The feel, sound, and mutual delight of a perfect high five. Really good. Really good. Really good.
You know what's Thank you very much for listening to Welcome to Patchwork for another week. Now, we want to get to 100 patrons, and what that will enable us to do is to film the show. We'll be able to send you clips. We'll be able to do all sorts of things. So we want to get to 100 patrons in 100 days. So go to www.patreon.com/welcome to patchwork, and for a couple of bucks a month, you'll get some awesome benefits, but please head to the website if you haven't already.
So if you've thought about joining, now is the time. It's a great Christmas present. Sign up for a Patreon.
What a great idea. Great Christmas present. Birthday present.
A beautiful Christmas present for 3 boys that you love.
And of course, the best thing you can do is to tell a friend. We've noticed that people have been tagging friends in our posts on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Tag a friend who you think will like the show. Get them involved. We'd love to have them on board as well. As we do every week, we sew a new patch into our quilt of friendship. Josh, what patch did you sew into your quilt this week?
Thank you, Dion. My patch this week was Christian writing a letter of complaint to Solymar Pioneers that's as long as the check-in contract. And Christian, what patch did you sew this week?
Thank you, Josh. This week I sewed into my patch me walking into a telecommunications store asking whether they have any phones that don't make or receive calls and texts. And Dion, what did you sew into your patch this week?
My patch this week is Neil Armstrong accepting an offer of a seat on a tram because he has moon boots on and human bite marks down his arm. Thank you for listening to Welcome to Patchwork this week. I've been Dion.
I've been Josh.
And I've been Christian.
Goodbye.
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 So that was Solymar Pioneers. Very reminiscent of my experience. It was unbelievable. The dining experience when we arrived at 9 o'clock was incredible. And my favourite thing was the music they had playing, right? So picture this massive dining hall where the only people there, there's this row of staff watching us, and then there's this music playing in the background. So you're
Lucky you Shazammed it.
No, you will know this song, okay? You will very much know this song. Okay. So it was this.
The Godfather.
It's The Godfather.
Oh my God.